Greetings everyone, welcome to Path of Exile video here, and we're gonna go through my Winter Orb character real fast here, and I'm gonna showcase it first because I hate it when people are not showcasing their builds. And we're just gonna alk it and see here, it doesn't matter. There's a few mods we can't do. Well, there's only one mod we can't do. It's Elemental Reflect. There's no way around it. You need to heavily spec into different gear choices if you're not. So, as you can see here, it's fairly fast. We do this. And the best thing is if you have a cursor mule flask, you can just do this and totally disregard that temporal chain there. Everything just gets one shot. So on the whole clear speed thing, it is very good, but as a single target character, I would say it's pretty good. As you saw there before when I started the video, I had Shaper up. I just did Shaper to test it out, and if you also look, I have all my portals still there. Except the one I used to walk in there, and that just goes to show that it's totally capable of doing. It's not the best bossing character at all, but it killed the Shaper in I did the run and it took me about 8 minutes, and it's mostly because of inexperience. I'm not super well versed in Shaper.
I've long wanted you to see how futile your eyes. Let me think.
Back.
No there we go. As you can see, they kill pretty fast. These are really tanky.
Kind of time to see how the paupers live, I suppose.
One more.
You should have given them the red. And the strong get stronger.
There we go. And I think that is basically enough. I'm just gonna clear this area out and just skip the boss, because this boss is a little bit time consuming. It is the map I've been farming on though. For the reason is that the boss is super easy, even though it takes a while to complete because he has different stages. But also that the different stages all spawn ads. So you continue killing ads, and it's only rare and magic ads, which really give... I mean, I've gotten probably about 50 different Guardian maps from that, just from this boss. So I would say that there's 28 left. So let's go to my hideout and take a look at the build. Right here it is in all its glory. As you can see, I'm rocking a Combs Heart here. No need, you can use an Impulsa. I actually used this chest for basically the whole league, and this was something I got for on the second day, and I had one of those cards that you hand in and you get a white one, and then I alked it, and this is what I got from the alk. Pretty insane, and it carried me pretty much through yeah, the whole end game. I just switched from this beauty here to my self-crafted one because I wanted to try something new. I saw this guy the other day, 2 days ago maybe, and he had this trigger a socket spell when you use a skill, and he uses Vortex and Bone Chill and Cold Snap here. And I just thought, if that's gonna help with single target, I mean, I have all the clear speed I want right now. I don't need any more at this moment, so why not just go for something a little bit more single target oriented? And it seems to work, and also it really helps with safety, especially on all those invasion bosses, like, or no, what do you call them, betrayal, the League of Syndicates, or whatever they call. And I'm also using this. Obviously it is only for the movement speed and a little bit of chaos damage. The rest is just shit on this. And I got, and the Winter Orb deals 40% increased damage. That might sound like a lot, but I pushed it into Path of Building. It does almost nothing. Something that does a lot on this, it is accessing extra gem levels. So if you can get a 21 Winter Orb, that is huge in damage input, much better than this. And I also have 1 plus AoE. I'm jumping all over the place. Let's just go through the gear first. So the ring also, aspect of spider, I saw it on Caesarion, his build, and aspect of spider gives both slows down the enemies, and it gives us extra damage, and it hinders them and stuff like that. So it's good all around. And I'm using this, is from the Shaper. I have not gotten to drop yet for myself, but it's quite expensive right now. Let's see how much it costs. It's 2.1. So when I bought it, it was like 1.5 or something. It was not popular yet. Obviously it's temporary chains, it's no mana reserved, so you can see here my temporary chain here doesn't reserve anything in this blasphemy, so that's a huge safety measure for me. And for best, the Shaper Presence for 10 seconds when you kill a rare or unique enemy. That is insanely good because it works on all our buffs. What it does is it increases the speed, so it's basically a temporal chain on ourselves that doesn't slow us down. It only slows down our buffs on ourselves, which means that Winter Orb, when I do this, as you can see here, it only gives a little bit of because I have so little mana. But when I have this up, which is basically all the time, it works as an increased duration of that one, so I get like 3 or 4 seconds extra. Then just because I could, I I put on bought the cheapest one I could find, and then I divined it one time, and this is what I got. So I was pretty happy with that. I honestly don't know, but everyone seems to say that Ash's Mirror is insane on damage. I have not played with anything else in this league. This was basically the first item I bought because Caesarion, who I was following in the beginning, was saying it was insane for damage output, and I've been using it since. I'm not been complaining, so why not? My boots, I grinded what is it, Cruel Lab for this enchant, and that is the only leech I have, so it's been working out pretty well, and nothing special otherwise. I could have probably bought a better pair of boots before going in there, but it was in the beginning, so I couldn't afford it. And Viscous Leech, just because why not? It's clear speed and extra damage, and I mean, yes, I cannot state this enough. This is insane for mapping, even when it comes to bossing. If you have like 1,000 stacks up, there's 100% extra damage on the bosses, and all the other shit that's going on, all the bombs and all the pulsating, it's just insane. And my best one here, because I don't have a 6-link, I made a mage shift 6-link here, and I switched also I switched from my crafting there. As you can see, it's a level to socket AoE gems +1, and I could craft life on them. Like, honestly, I have 7,040 in life, so I didn't feel like I was in need of it. And plus, like I said, as soon as you can get a Winter Orb 21, it is insane, and now it's 22. That is like tens of thousands of extra DPS. That is, yeah, by far the biggest upgrade you can make now, because it gives you flat cold damage, and you need that. Then a controlled destruction and everything. So the links I have is Vortex, Cold Snap with Bone Shield for every time I use the skill. So if I use here, you can see it's alternating. It's every 5 seconds or 4 seconds, it's the switches between these. So I don't need to click anything, it just casts it in by itself, which is pretty neat. And have Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder, what else, which other ones? Temporal Chains and Arctic Armor. Those are the ones that I'm rocking right now. That leaves me with 125 in mana. It's not the greatest, as you can see, but it doesn't matter when I'm mapping actually, or if I have something to hit, because my boots will leech for me, so as soon as I'm hitting something it will even itself out, so I will continuously have 10 stacks anyway. So it might look a little bit here, but it doesn't really matter. Then I have portals. I just wanted the one because it's so annoying to carry around the portal scrolls all the time. And we have increased duration for our Righteous Fire and our Phase Run. So when I'm hitting this, I'm... wait, how much faster? It's a little bit faster. It's 39 plus my flask has also 40 plus 29, so it's pretty good. And lastly, concentrated effect, control destruction, Winter Orb, and great multiple projectile. This is the setup to go with. You don't want to change anything there. I know some are going for I think it's switching out control destruction for increased duration. I don't think it's needed, honestly. I've never run out of stacks. You can see my speed there. I don't need to stop, especially with this one on. It might be because I have this one on. Without it, maybe. For Flask, I have 1 bleeding immunity, and it needs to be also a Divine Flask of seeding, which means that you want to have instant recovery on it, because if something happens, like the Syndicate. And then I have the Bustle Flask, some physical reduction, because we are in melee quite often, even though we don't need to. We just run into shit and then drop our shit and then run out. So just circulating like around the Syndicate members until they're dead. But we're pretty close, so we might get hit. And we have our Dying Sun, which is insane on. It doesn't show up on Path of Building or anything like that, but it's 2 additional projectiles. That is massive. And it's increased area effect also, which means every projectile lands have a much higher chance of actually landing on its target. And we have a Serious Promise. We want the elemental damage, extra chaos damage here. It's self-explanatory, and we also have Leech from there. And Chaos Resist, which can be good for those temples. When you get the Temple of Asolalo from Alva. Where is she? And our trusted movement speed Flask. I would go for bleeding and curse immunity. You could go for a freeze on this one, but I've never ever had a problem with it, because our Winter Orb, even if we get frozen, it still shoots around us, so it will not ever be a problem, unless you go into a box and click the box without actually hanging frozen orb, but that never happens to me because we're clearing so fast and I'm just running right by it. Then let's take a look at the skill tree. First of all, this is pretty standard. You want to go first down here to a Beacon of Ruin, then you want to take these. I opted for the non-minion. I was doing the minion first, but then I noticed how many points I was using on random places and stuff like that, and then I was looking at other people who was doing these builds, and it seemed to be overwhelmingly spec out of the minion ones and going for just pure elemental damage and no other thing here. Some nice gems, you can check out those in on my page. And I also recommend this one. Chance to gain onslaught for 4 seconds on kill. That means a massive increase in speed and just cast speed, and also running or movement speed and stuff like that. So, and face up acrobatics. I was going pure DPS before, like both these and all the minion nodes, and also the increased duration from down here and extra sockets and up here. But I mean, you get kind of squishy, and I just wanted to level now to 95, and then I said like I will stop at 95, and I have 7040, so plus all this mitigation, I mean, I'm basically invincible. And especially after the nerf they did on the fortification syndicate members, because those were just insane. Winter Orb was not doing great against them because you can't target anything specific, and there were so many enemies spawning. And yeah, let's see what we are doing on which button is that for our. I'm doing Soul of Lunaris because of the added physical damage reduction, the movement speed again, and yeah, it's just good all around for some clear speed. And I'm using Soul of Sharky for extra chaos damage because I don't have a lot of chaos res, and immune to poison, then I don't need to worry about that ever. I always go with this one. It just simplifies your life so much. And then just the playstyle is basically you click right click to hold down. You can do this build with one hand, honestly, and then you click your flasks if you want to do that. Then you do Val Righteous Fire and Val Cold Snap on big bosses or syndicate members. It's up pretty often, so you can use it. And that is basically it. You run through in full speed and just drop everything on the bosses. Val Righteous Fire, make sure you use the Val one. I did a mistake and died of using the normal one. Where is it? There. And I was wondering, why am I degening so fast? And it was because of I clicked the wrong one. Yeah, I don't think I missed anything here. I hope not. And I don't know honestly what I'm gonna do next, because I feel pretty done with this. I have some good upgrades to do. Maybe an impulsor. That should honestly take care of the single target damage like insane. That would completely take this build to the next hemisphere when it comes to single target, because the extra shock and extra shock damage and the explosion, especially if you have bosses with minions around them, and plus the synergy between this shield and impulsor is insane. Apparently I have not owned the impulsor yet, so maybe I sell off some shit and then get going with that. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and thank you for watching.